Hey everyone, this is Greg Pellegrom, co-founder and CEO of SmileSnap. And today we're going to have a roundtable discussion with Corey and Alex from Ortho Marketing Made Simple. One of the things that we share in common in our mindset is that the way that consumers buy today has changed. It's different than the way it was 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. And they bring a lot of insight from their backgrounds that I'll let them tell you about. But we thought it'd be, good for everyone to kind of hear directly from them some of the things that they're doing in order to drive traffic to websites. And then once they're there, what are those websites doing? What do they have? How are they built in order to convert those eyeballs into actual patients? So we could take a quick minute and just let Alex and Corey introduce yourselves. That'd be great.
Yeah, sure thing. Thanks, Greg. My name is Alex Hamilton. I'm a management consultant by trade, but I've had the luxury to not only consult for Invisalign or Align Technology, I also consulted for a multitude of orthodontic practices and DSOs. I believe at my time as a consultant, I was in 50 to 100 plus orthodontic practices, really trying to understand the process, and most importantly, their marketing. I think with my experience, one of the main issues we always found in these practices are doctors really wanted patients to find them, and they didn't fully understand the marketing landscape and how to build a marketing system. So that's where I came in with Corey to build Ortho Marketing Made Simple, and we really try to make it as frictionless as possible for a patient to find that orthodontic practice and really provide that quality. I'll pass it over to Corey.
Right on. Thanks, Alex. Hey guys, I'm Corey Wise. I'm a U.S. Air Force veteran. When I got out, I was medically separated in 2009 and got into entrepreneurship, e-commerce, and digital marketing. After a few years, I was brought on by a SaaS company, Legwork, to run their or help with their digital marketing team. And when I was there, had the opportunity to build probably 200-300 websites for dental and ortho practices, and really got to understand and see what was being produced at the time from both Legwork, what our team was doing, and then other marketing systems that were out then. From there, I got picked up by Invisalign as a business optimization consultant for orthodontic practices. That's where Alex and I met. And as he said, one of the biggest things when we come in and talk to doctors, what keeps you up at night, how can we help, was how do we get more patients in the practice? And so when Alex and I sit down as consultants and really looked at what is the problem here? Why there's 8,000 orthodontists and 335 million people, where's the disconnect? It's the fact that the way that consumers make those decisions have changed, and that traditional marketing funnel is just not effective. So that's where we're sitting now, and that's where we have SmileSnap and Ortho Marketing Made Simple.
Yeah, well said, Corey. I've said for a long time that when I started this company, I was trying to move the orthodontic industry from the blockbuster in-store video experience, which there's nothing wrong with that. We all, those of us of that generation enjoyed it. It was an experience, but I know for me personally, the minute I heard about Netflix, I immediately signed up for their service for a couple of reasons. One was convenience. Getting DVDs delivered to my mailbox, and then I can watch them and return them whenever I want to my mailbox without any late fees. They had me as a customer, and I'm still a customer today. And really, it started with that convenience model for me. And, today's millennial generation, and, some of our listeners may not know this, but they're now the largest percentage of population in the U.S. Their ages from 27 to 42. Yep. So in an orthodontic practice, on the older end of that generation, these are the parents that are walking into your practice. These are the parents with those 12-year-old kids, 7-year-old kids that need phase 1 treatment or ready for comprehensive treatment. These are the folks that you need to be able to connect and engage with, and do it in a digital manner that resonates with them, because they're digital natives and this is what they know. So they're also the largest working population. So contrary to popular belief, they're working and they have money, but they do shop differently for everything in their life. And therefore, we're trying to pass what we've learned to help grow the orthodontic industry and get more people off their couches and into your chairs. So tell me a little bit about how things have changed. Because I do it myself and I'm a Gen Xer, but I know the millennials, whenever we want to research something and we're in that discovery phase, the first place we go to is our phone or computer, right? And we go to Google and we type something in and it gives us some options. Tell us a little bit about how that SEO process has maybe changed and what you guys do to help optimize it for your customers.
Yeah, the traditional marketing funnel being a funnel has certainly changed because we're no longer, coming home and circling around our landlines. I'm old enough to remember that, to where flyers and catalogs and things like that were important, where it was essential for companies to really put that outbound marketing and get in front of people who may otherwise not see them, but really put their money, their time and money into paid attention, into getting in front of those eyeballs. And now, as far as I guess the next stage there in referring to SEO, search engine optimization, the quick description of what SEO is just literally having the text, the words that somebody is searching for on Google on your website. You wanted to get those lined up as best as possible. So old school websites would literally have the words that somebody was searching kind of stuffed in. But that's why all of these older marketing companies were saying that you need all of these text walls, literally just walls of text on a site, so that it would be optimized for Google when people were searching. Now the SEO landscape has changed and adapted to local. So it includes geographic location. So when somebody's searching best orthodontist near me, because that's what we do for everything, best restaurant, best hotel, best golf course, best orthodontist, the biggest factor there is just geographic, where your IP address is, where you're physically sitting. So you no longer need those big walls of text. And we'll get into this a little bit later on the UX, the user experience of the website. That's why that's important. But that's where things are landing now. And I'll let Alex take over as far as what we do to approach the Google phase. But that really is step one, regardless of how somebody finds a practice, they go to Google and start looking up.
So it's less about keyword stuffing a website and it's more about your local SEO that Google is looking for today.
Well, yeah, correct. And one of the main factors here for Google is location, your geographic location. You can test it right now and just Google best near me, and it's going to show things around you in a proximity. So for a practice, that's a lot of that has already been established. So the next thing in order to be competitive in that landscape is your reputation and your social proof.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm happy to add to that too. I think going back to the new customer landscape, as a millennial myself, but also Gen Z, everything needs to come to you within, ideally an hour or 24 hours. I always give this example as now Amazon Prime. You order something, it comes to your doorstep within the 24 hours or 48 hours. Now when you're ordering food, it comes to you immediately within an hour or two. You don't have to even pick it up. So everything is very much consumer driven by efficiency and time, right? So really you need to ensure that you're getting, the quality out of your website so patients can, one, find you, but then get to your website. But really how we do that, as Corey mentioned, it's really focusing on optimizing your Google business profile presence first, ensuring you're actually getting, your reputation up, meaning your reviews. So you run a review strategy, but also ensuring when a potential patient searches for best orthodontist online, you're not only ranked high enough, you have a great rating, you have great photos, so that it's relatively a simple decision for that patient to be like, I'm going to click on this website immediately. They passed the grunt test, we like to call it. And I'm going to now look into the website and potentially schedule.
And that Google Business Profile is the maps, the thing with the pictures and the reviews, the ratings.
Yes, and in case some people may not know this, but correct me if I'm wrong, it used to be called Google My Business, and now it's Google Business Profile.
Yeah, they
And
changed that last
there's
year.
lots of different settings and options in there that you guys go in and make sure that it's fully optimized, things are looking good, and then you kind of stay on top of that for them. And those are the things that help with the local SEO.
Correct,
Okay.
correct. And that's a good point too. Like you can optimize it up front, but if you're not every week at least posting there and ensuring you're answering reviews and you have a current status on your Google Business Profile, you really aren't going to see that growth and increase your ranking. Because how Google works, it's basically an algorithm and it's proprietary, so they don't tell you, but really you can base off multiple factors when we actually have the Google Analytics data. If you're constantly updating your Google Business Profile with new photos, with new posts, that's going to be your best bet to actually increase your ranking, especially with your reviews as well.
Okay. So we've talked a little bit about, the best ways to drive those eyeballs to a website. Let's say that their Google Business Profile page is optimized. They're ranking quite well. What now, once the user clicks on and gets to your website, what are some things that that user is looking for specifically in an orthodontic practice?
Yeah, the first two things in this whole process, they're continually working to check off is typically trust and authority. And obviously, do you offer what I'm looking for orthodontic treatment? That really limits out, it groups the majority of people looking for treatment. But through that, can I trust you? Are you going to take advantage of me? Is this going to be a reasonable price? And then is this going to work with my schedule? Is it going to be easy? So I briefly discussed the marketing funnel before, where it was awareness, consideration, research, decision. And at each stage, it gets lower as the different businesses that offer a product or service reduces down to one specific choice. Now it's more of a journey. So you have instead of that funneling through, you have your research phase where somebody can go on Google and immediately you can see the top 3 or 5 locations within 5 or 10 miles of your area. And that process has already been limited. So you don't have to look at 100 places. It's selective to, again, like 3 to 5. So that's where we really want to build that great first impression of what a patient is likely to expect when they walk into the practice. Everything that a practice is built to serve that patient in-house, we want to start delivering online so that somebody doesn't find another practice and just decides to go with them. They get a good, honest representation of what to expect. Then from the research phase, they know the practices that they have to choose from. It goes into the website. And under consideration, like I said, they're looking for who's the doctor. One of the things that Alex and I do is, instead of just making guesswork, we run Google Analytics on all of our practices. So not only do we have all of the past data over years of practices, and then the way that people are engaging, the way that they actually interact with the page, what pages they go to, how long they spend on pages, and then what pages typically cause bounces, meaning somebody who lands on that page and then leaves without doing something further, like scheduling an appointment. So based on all of that data from Google Analytics, we see that people tend to go to the website, the homepage, they go to the Meet the Doctor, and then if possible, they go to a cost and finance page. How much is it going to cost? And then they go to schedule an appointment. So really it's only, and that cost and finance is not it doesn't have to be there. It's just, again, a trust and authority if you're willing to do it. So 3 pages is all that somebody really needs to go through is, what do you offer? Orthodontic treatment. Can I trust you with the doctor? Does it seem like this is going to be a good fit? Do you seem nice? Does your team seem nice? And then how do I get it? And that seamless process to schedule an appointment.
And so kind of what I'm hearing is when they get to the website, they want to very quickly and easily be able to find out the information that they're looking for.
That's it.
And they want also too something that's actionable, because a lot of people are searching for orthodontic treatment from anywhere at any time, I always say. So it's where that consumer is at any given time.
Yeah.
Here at SmileSnap, we see about a third of our consultation requests come in the evenings or on weekends. We even see them on holidays, right?
Wow.
And if a practice has, select business hours, 9 to 5, call it give or take 4 days a week. Not everybody wants to call and leave a voicemail or remember to call the next day. And even going to a contact us page where there's a form to fill out. I think a lot of people nowadays, they don't know if they're going to get a call back or not. And they don't want to type in all that information. We live in the economy of now, and people want transparency. They want it quick. And so a website needs to be actionable. And obviously that's one of the things that we provide with the SmileSnap widget is if this is running on your website and it's properly implemented, meaning there are several call to action buttons that link to the SmileSnap widget. There's a landing page about virtual consultations. People can go through this process and very quickly and easily fill out their information, answer questions, take some pictures of their teeth, and they get sent to the practice. And oftentimes they say, you know what, good enough. I'm going to get back to my life now and stop looking at other orthodontic websites.
Right.
Because people typically want to know 3 things in orthodontics. What do I need? What does it cost? How long does it take?
Yep.
And that's that initial sort of a pre-consult, if you will, before they're willing to commit to coming in and getting full records. And we see that all the time. It ends up being the ultimate filter for pre-qualifying patients and saying, here's some information. Would you like to move to the next step? And some people will say, thanks, but no thanks. And that's fine. We'd rather do it this way than have them come into the office and waste everybody's time. The other side of it is those that do want to move forward and come in for that full records visit, they're walking through equipped already with about 90% of the information that they're looking for, and typically are ready to get, scanned for their clear aligners or put my braces on as a same day start.
I love that line that you said with the next step. That's Alex and I talk about this a lot, but referring to that decision process, the consumer decision process, like dating or like marriage. And in each stage of those, whether it's, when you first get found on Google and you're looking at pictures and reviews and the social proof, it's really asking that. It's like dating, have I done enough for you to come with me for a cup of coffee?
Yeah.
Yes, cool. Have I done enough now to, can I ask you to dinner? Are you willing to? And then moving through that. One of the things on the SmileSnap portion, like you said, when we were looking at analytics, most people now are leaning towards SmileSnap. We know that in COVID, that was the only option. And so that was the one that everybody did. And so now it's kind of twisting back, but if people don't know what they're expected to do or that it's even an option, they just don't. And so from the sites that we look at where whoever's designed the website has kind of buried the SmileSnap, or it looks like a pop-up. If it's been designed that way, it gets ignored. But for the sites where that's highlighted and it's a clear call to action of, would you like to see somebody in person? Great, click this button, put in your name, email, hit send, somebody will call you back. For the SmileSnap, would you like to do it digitally right now? Yeah. Awesome. And that's the one where people are spending a substantial amount of time on, which is impressive.
People love options, right? There's no doubt about it, because I don't think, right, from my point of view, if I'm kind of on the fence about something, I just give me at least some preliminary information, because the last thing I want to do is waste your time, let alone mine. But if you're not providing me means to find that information out, and the only way that I can get this information is to come into your practice, go through the full process, only to find out that I can't afford it. I really don't want to, do it for this long. I thought this was for me, but maybe it's not. And I leave. Well, the practice sometimes gets upset about that. And it's like, look, it's not their fault. It's your fault for only giving them the one way to find this information out. And again, that's that blockbuster in-store experience. If you had a Netflix option and give people the choice, let them decide, go, I want to go in, I want to meet them. I'm pretty certain I'm going to do this. I got the time, let's go. But there's a certain percentage out there that are going to say, look, that sounds great because I'm not quite sure I want to do this. Okay. I'm very busy. I'm, tech savvy. This sounds really cool to me. Give them the option, let them decide, and you will filter out those time wasters. You'll qualify the ones that are really interested in it, and you're still going to have that stream of patients that come through the traditional way, and that's okay.
Well, and on that one too, so many, we talk to a lot of practices, we talk to a lot of doctors, and we talk to a lot of marketing companies, and the focus still on filtering out the time wasters and such, that is a big priority for practices. But so many of the marketing companies are still focused on that external attention, meaning paid ads or, TikTok. We hear that one a lot right now. There's no TikTok present, but should we be advertising on TikTok? That's exactly opening up to this broad scope of an audience and hoping that somebody is going to be in the geographic location, to be in the position in their lives where they're looking for. Like there's so many factors that have to connect all at once, and you're just hoping for that to click up.
Right.
Whereas, Alex is the one who looks at numbers every single day for all these practices, so he can talk better to it than I. But looking at the amount of people coming to Google and engaging with that Google Maps, the Google Business Profile, the amount of people that are coming to a website, there's thousands of people engaging with a website every single month that you're not paying for. It's there. And so being able to capitalize on those, and again, really explain to them what's expected. Like that was the big thing that we noticed, is if they don't know what to do, then they'll just drop off because they don't.
So Alex, the lowest hanging fruit, the best opportunity, hands down, is Google to the website.
Yeah, I mean, you brought up a great point, and this is something that's very important to Corey and I, and it's always follow the data. You'll be surprised. A lot of the doctors we work with, we ask them, with their last marketing agency or their current marketing agency, do you get a quarterly report? Are you actively looking at your Google Analytics? And we always get a resounding no, which is unfortunate. It's really, if you start following the data, you really can start seeing kind of what your patients are looking for and where they're going. And what Corey and I do, our approach with data is we actually take in their PMS data, their Google Analytics, their Google Business Profile data, and we actually map out the patient journey for our doctors. So one, we're actually educating them on kind of what we're looking at, so they have an understanding of their marketing system. But it also allows us to really show them, these are what your patients are looking for. And part of this is, if you don't have a digital front door like SmileSnap, oftentimes you're missing out on about half of the population. And it's shown in the data. We have majority of our practices that have SmileSnap, half of them are always clicking on that digital front door first. So it's a huge growth opportunity as well for these doctors. So I would say the largest opportunity is, one, first, just to understand your data and understand, what your patients are doing. It's always a little different based on your location, but once you start understanding your population, then you can start understanding how you should market yourself to them.
Well, guys, this is great insight, and when we started talking, immediately I was able to decipher that we share the same vision and we share the same goals, right? We're trying to help orthodontic practices grow by bringing, more patients into their practice, ones that are qualified, but doing it in a way that connects and engages with today's consumer, and more importantly, tomorrow's consumer, so that we're relevant going forward, and people aren't looking to other alternatives such as a direct-to-consumer model. They're able to go and get that high-quality treatment with a place that they trust, and we do it in a way that is very convenient and transparent every step of the way. So that being said, if anyone that's watched this has an interest in learning more about what you guys do, what's the best way for them to reach you?
orthomarketingmadesimple.com. Yeah, it's the easiest one. You just go to the website. It has more information about what we do and how. There's an option there just to schedule an appointment with us, and we're happy to have a call with anyone. And it's been a real opportunity for us to be able to go through and at least walk a practice or their team through what a potential patient goes through to schedule an appointment for them, and then look at their current marketing systems. So not only can we offer advice, whether it's with us or themselves, on their current marketing journey, but then also looking at their current marketing company. There's most of the practices that unfortunately we've worked with has had some sort of marketing service that they're paying for and they're not actually getting. So they've been wasting a lot of money on marketing services that aren't being marketed. So happy to help point that stuff out too.
That sounds great. Well, love what you guys are doing. Appreciate your time and insight today. And, hopefully this sends some people who, will go out to their websites and have a look from a user experience. And maybe it's not as optimized as they thought it was. And we'll reach out to you for some advice.
Yeah. Love that. Thanks so much, Greg. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Stop recording. All right, there we go.